The Central Bank of Nigeria says about 1 trillion naira cash is now in circulation, and it will assess the cash situation to ensure that people do not begin to store cash outside the banking system for personal use as obtained before the currency redesign. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele made this known on the sideline of the Monetary Policy Committee meeting, where key lending rates were issued by 50 basis points to 18%. Naira reports.
The second Monetary Policy Committee meeting of the year and key lending rates have just been pushed up by 50 basis points, which is 0.5% to 18%. The committee was confronted with options of loosening, tightening or holding. It chose the tightening option while leaving the cash reserve requirement and liquidity ratio unchanged. It adds that the gap between the MPR and inflation is a disincentive for investments, and moderate tightening would be a strategy going forward to prevent it having a gross impact on the banking system.
The committee enjoined fiscal authority to explore other avenues to improve non-oil revenue to reduce the fiscal deficit and public debt. Following new risk of financial contagion emerging from the scenario of failed banks in some advanced economies, members examined critically the possibility of shocks to the Nigerian banking system from these banks and concluded that the Nigerian banking system remains reasonably insulated from such likely contagion. The bank has been able to achieve this through stringent micro and macro prudential guidelines that has ensured that individual banks and the banking industry in Nigeria have adequate buffers to ward off global contagion. In addition to this, MPC examined the possible impact of further policy rate hikes on the stability of the banking system and was convinced that further rate hikes would not adversely impact the stability of the banking system.
The Naira redesign policy was introduced last year to mop up about 2.7 trillion naira cash outside the banking sector. The Apex Bank now says about 1 trillion naira in cash is in circulation. It adds that measures will be taken to ensure the cash in circulation does not rise to the level it was before the policy was introduced. It says it identifies with challenges facing online platforms due to the huge volume of transactions, and adds that efforts are ongoing to improve the system.
I must apologize, yes, online channels failed, but no doubt it was a result of the deluge of volumes of online transactions that hit the banking industry. And I think it's currently being resolved, and we are following up on daily basis. Our payment system, payment system management department follows up on a consistent and daily basis with the banks to ensure that where there are downtime, they are resolved as quickly as possible, so as to make sure transactions go smoothly. I know that some of our Nigerians will say that some of them had persisted, but those are very, very isolated cases where I will say that they have persisted. But everything is being done.
The Monetary Policy Committee increased key lending rates by 1% to 17.5% at its last meeting in January, while leaving the cash reserve requirement and liquidity ratio unchanged over what it called prevailing economic conditions. Naira, TVC News, Abuja.